My girls, I know I sound like a broken record when I say chronic inflammation causes chronic disease, everything from arthritis to Alzheimer's. But I am right. I just didn't know why. This week, I finally understood why this is. Get this. Our bodies have what are called natural killer cells. They are like skilled assassins. They target and eliminate any threat before it develops into disease. So, how come disease develops? Because most of us are calling off our natural killer, our NK cells. We are telling them to stand down. Have you ever heard of natural killer cells before today? Did you learn about it in middle school biology? If so, show off and say so below. If not, no worries. I just learned about them from a Tucker Carlson interview with Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong. He is a transplant surgeon and cancer researcher. So listen to me and then check the link in the description. Okay, here's my takeaway. Most of us, have an army of NK cells itching to destroy our damaged cells before those cells can cause serious problems like infection or neurodegeneration or even cancer. But these NK cells are stuck in standby mode. Even when there's danger, they will not act. So, what is switching off our NK cells? What's telling them to stand down? Chronic inflammation. I know what you're thinking. But NK cells and inflammation are both part of the immune system. Why on earth would inflammation suppress natural killer cells? Aren't they on the same team? Team immune system? It makes no sense. That's what I thought. So here's what I learned. They are all part of the immune system, but they have two distinct jobs. They are in different specialty teams: Team Natural Killers and Team Inflammation. They serve different roles. Team NK is quiet. They patrol for threats and quietly take them out before a full blown emergency can take hold. Specifically, they target and remove virally infected cells, cells damaged beyond repair, and precancerous and even cancerous cells. Think of NK, Team NK, as your body's surveillance system and cleanup crew. Now, when we do have an emergency, like when infection takes hold or there's an injury, that's when your body triggers team inflammation. It calls in a swarm of responders, white blood cells, cytokines, macrophages, and these are the firefighters and first responders. They storm in to control the emergency, and inflammation is just part of how they work. NK cells are not part of that swarm. Now, our immune system protects the body with both teams. The NK crew wipes out small threats before problems develop, and the inflammation crew deals with short term emergencies like occasional infections and isolated injuries. So, what's going on now? Today, many of us are living in a state of chronic inflammation, chronic all the time. An immune system crew working overtime? Wouldn't that mean more attack power? Be a good thing? More health? Uh-uh. Constant inflammation results in poor health. Because when the inflammation team takes the lead, the NK cell team steps back. I'm not sure why. The theory is that the body suppresses the NK cell activity to prevent friendly fire, accidental damage to healthy tissues, or prevent triggering autoimmune issues where the body attacks itself. So suppressing the NK team in the short term is all right. The crew can catch up when the inflammation subsides. But long term, when the inflammation never subsides, it leaves us wide open to threats the natural killer cells are designed to eliminate. So, what can we do? Turns out a lot. First of all, we can avoid the causes of chronic inflammation. I will begin with the dietary demons I'm always talking about: no seed oils, no artificial additives, watch out for sugar and starches, ultra processed foods, refined flours. and unhealthy habits like alcohol and smoking and staying up late. And then there are the ones I undervalue, like a sedentary life and chronic stress. But there are additional factors in that are critical in our campaign to keep our NK cells vigilant and combat ready. And these aren't don'ts, but do's. Sleep, I guess I just alluded to that, and sun. I'm going to begin with sleep. My girls, I've always told you we heal when we sleep, and I have always believed it. But until now, I couldn't tell you why. And it turns out I was right. During deep sleep, get this, NK cells are replenished. They recover, they get stronger. But when we are sleep deprived, NK cell activity drops sometimes by half. Wow. I suppose this is what we old timers refer to as being run down, right? We get sick when we are run down, and nothing runs us down more than lack of sleep. My next video series is going to be on sleep. I can tell you that right now. Now, my last series was on the power of sunlight, the benefits of sunlight in our eyes and on our skin. And in that series, I talked about getting vitamin D, that most of us are deficient in, melatonin, happy hormones from the early morning light. I even cited research showing that increased exposure to sunlight is associated with lower all cause mortality and lower rates of many cancers. But I didn't wonder why. I just accepted it. But now I know. Dr. Soon-Shiong explains that sunlight, especially the red light waves, activate NK cells. Sunlight helps set our circadian rhythm, which helps us get better sleep. That's great and it's relevant. But, and this bears repeating, the sunlight itself activates that special task force, the Team NK, the natural killer cells, switches them on. We've always known that sunlight lifts our spirits, but it turns out it powers our biology too. And this is just one more example of how what is natural is good, not only for our spirits and our souls, but for our brilliant bodies. I have to admit to my sun worshiping girls, you know who you are, that you were right, and I am coming out from under the umbrella this summer. I am joining you. The picture is becoming so clear. I now understand not merely that chronic inflammation leads to chronic disease, but how. It shuts down our defense systems. And now we know how to get that team back in the game. And critically, it is not by making a trip to the drugstore. Good food for good health, yes, and also good sleep and plenty of sunshine. I can live with that. Hey, I'm Eileen. I reversed the worst of my Alzheimer's symptoms through a clean, low carb diet, and that's what I like to talk about here, that and related issues on my new little channel. If you are interested in some resource to start your clean, low carb life, check the description for a few links. I thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting on my video, maybe subscribing. And until next time, stay strong, wise, kind, and good. Choose good food, good sleep, and good sun for good health.